This is Steve Sanson and Jim Jonas with another episode of Veterans in Politics. Hi, Jim.
Hey, Steve. How's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Yeah, we got a lineup today. We supposed to have Stephen Brooks, Democrat candidate for Nevada State Assembly, District 19. Travis Barrick, Republican candidate for Nevada State Attorney General, and Yvette Wilson, candidate for School Board of Education, District 2. But before we get on to that, how about that appealing that don't ask, don't tell thing? How do you feel about that?
Well, I didn't like the policy to begin with anyway. I don't understand why. I think we've just become too politically correct. So I think it should just go back to the way it was before. I've never seen a problem with the policy in the past.
Well, yeah, I think I agree with you. You know, if they're going to change the policy, they should do it while we're in peacetime.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they should do it while we're up in arms in war, and we still can't find Osama bin Laden, by the way.
I know, amazing. Can't find one guy.
We could put a probe on the Mars, but we can't find Osama
can't
bin
find
Laden.
one guy. Yeah.
That's. But I heard that they think that he's in southern Pakistan, but I don't know about those Pakistanis. But anyways, that's a whole different segment. But I want to talk a little bit about the Obama rally yesterday.
How'd it go? I wasn't there.
Well, let me tell you what happened with that. First, I showed up, and I didn't have press credentials, which I normally do have press credentials, but this time I didn't put myself down on the list for press credentials. I just, put my name on the list as general public, but then I said, you know what, I'm going to just go in and try my luck.
Yeah.
So I walked through the first security checkpoint, showed my Veterans in Politics business card, and then they let me through, and I walked to the second security checkpoint where the press is. Anyways, they said, well, you're not on the list. You need to write your name down here. So I wrote my name down and showed them my card, showed them my ID. They said, well, we need to check with Secret Service. So I said, okay. So Secret Service came out, and the Secret Service guy I know.
Yeah.
So he goes, yeah, these guys are cool. And I showed up with another associate of mine. So we walked in. We had the White House press credentials. We had everything. We're sitting down at the workstation, all the way probably about 500 feet from the stage where the press hangs out. And then I got up to get some bottles of water. And while I did that, the same Secret Service guy came over to me.
Yeah.
And he goes, you're going to have to go. So I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean I'm going to have to go? He goes, well, you didn't pre-register with the DNC, so you're going to have to go. So I said, well, you just got me in.
Right.
He goes, they ran you. I said, what do you mean they ran me? He goes, this is a Democrat event.
Oh, okay, I see.
So I said, well, I'm supposed to be nonpartisan press. He goes, you are not nonpartisan. They ran you.
Right.
So I said, you're kicking me out because I'm a registered Republican? I have to escort you to the front. So I said, I can make a scene. He goes, come on. I said, there's cameras right there. He goes, so anyways, I walked out.
Yeah.
And I left my associate behind, and I walked out. And I hope that they didn't mess with her. But anyways, when I went to the first security checkpoint, I ran into Jack Clark, who's running for public administrator, right. And he's wearing a full Metro uniform. So I'm over there talking to him for a while, talked to Rory Reed, talked to Congresswoman Titus, briefly talked to Congresswoman Shelley Berkeley, and found out that they were kicking my associate now. They were kicking her out.
Really?
So anyways, I walked back up to the VIP, and I said, where does the general membership go? And I said, oh, they're clear across the other side of the aisle. So I said, okay, fine. So anyways, I walked up to the VIP, and I'm over there. I'm talking to Assemblyman Munford and Javier. I forgot his last name. He's running for school board as well. We endorsed him. And the head of the DNC, I'm talking to them. Anyways, I got my associate back in, and then through another checkpoint.
Right.
And then I followed suit. And then while I'm in there, now I'm closer to the stage now. Okay? I'm closer to the stage. So I'm in there, and here comes the Secret Service guy, right?
Again.
Again, so I said, you know what? Why'd you kick me out for it? I said, now I'm a lot closer to the stage. He goes, well, they told me I had to. I'm like, who's they? I'm like, I can't reveal. Anyways, I got to see the president again for the, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. It's probably the 4th time now.
Yeah.
You know, and I got to see him, and I got to listen to all the rhetoric that was going on, and they were really slamming the Republican Party.
Oh yeah.
Republican Party, according to the Democrat rally last night, is the one that is in charge of the foreclosure,
right?
In charge of Wall Street going bad. I mean, anything bad happened in this country, Republicans did it, according to Democrats. And it's a shame, because I always thought that we were Americans first and party second, but apparently there were Democrats first,
yeah,
and Americans second.
Right. Well, when do you think that they're going to actually start to understand that they're in charge now? They need to fix it instead of complaining about who broke it.
Well, you know something. This is how I look at it. Republicans and Democrats are not working as Americans. They're just Republicans is working as Republicans. Democrats, you want something? No, we're going to vote you out. Republicans, you want something? No, we're going to vote you out. And all this finger pointing, and every time you do this finger pointing, you never get anything done.
Right.
It's like me showing up at the event, and I was already in, and because I'm a registered Republican, they're kicking me out. So what is that? What is that? It's going to give me a bad taste in my mouth towards Democrats if I was a immature, self-centered ideology type of person.
Right.
But since I'm not, I'm just looking at it like, well, you know, they just made a bad call.
Right.
You know, and that's how I'm looking at it, because I got a lot of Democrat friends.
Yeah.
A lot. I think it balances with the Republicans, and I think that's good, that you have a good balance between Republicans, Democrat, and the others, meaning the IAP, Green Party, and Libertarians. You know, and that's how I like to keep it. I like to keep a well-balanced mix.
Yeah, well,
that's just me.
It's just like what you when I told you who I voted for last time, and you said, well, Jim, you got quite a few Democrats on that list, and you told me, you said, the one thing I like about your voting record, Jim, is you don't vote Republican. If he's a moron, he's a Republican, you're not going to vote for him. Because if you do, then what does that make you?
I mean, what's on my ballot, like I said last week, I voted for, I believe, 19 Republicans. I voted for 17 Democrats, and I voted for 1 independent.
Yeah.
You know? That's just me. This party thing is just nonsense. I think we should just do away with the party and everybody run in their own merit.
Yeah.
And just run in your own merit.
That's one way to do it, I guess. That's actually George Washington, our first president, didn't want political parties. He predicted this would happen. You would become more concentrated on what was good for your party and less on the country.
Instead of what's good for the country. Yeah. It's a shame, though. Any rants from you, though?
Yeah, actually I do. Did you hear about Juan Williams getting fired from NPR?
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, because he voiced his own opinion about, he's nervous around Muslims wearing the headpiece, right? The headdress. And you know that
on airplanes.
Yeah, and you know, some people have their, I mean, looking back in the day when Caucasians, women held onto their purse when a black guy walked past.
Right.
You know, people got their own insecurities and their own thing. He voiced an opinion, and he said it was his opinion. But, you know, if you're working for a major station like the NPR, I guess you really have to watch what you say. It's just like I got to watch what I say on KLAV, the AM station, and I can say whatever I want to say on the VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Right.
You know, I guess it goes like that. So.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy about the decision. No. I thought it was incorrect.
I thought he was reinstated, by the way.
Oh, I didn't. I haven't heard any recent news.
Or is he a commentary for Fox?
No, yeah. He actually got a new contract with Fox. Okay. They upped his salary at Fox. So he'll be on there more later.
So it probably was a win-win for him anyway.
Oh, no, it's definitely a win for him. I mean, even the Democrats are furious about it, all up in arms. That's all that was all over the TV.
Speaking of that, I'm a little upset with the Republicans for telling Hispanics not to vote. You know, the veterans in politics are the ones that always tell people, go to the voting booth, be informed, vote, make sure you go with your constitutional right to vote, because men and women are dying in other countries to give you that right, and they're also giving other countries that right to vote too. And here we are in our own country telling Hispanics not to vote. What kind of crap is that?
Yeah, I don't agree with it either. That's just another part.
Hey, Hispanics out there,
vote.
Go vote.
Exactly.
Go vote. You know, that's just
if
crap.
the Republican Party has not worked hard enough to earn their
Hispanic votes,
then hey.
Oh, they got Brian Sandoval running for governor. So.
Yeah.
But Harry Reid did make a statement one time. He said that if you're Hispanic, it's crazy for you to be a Republican or something in that.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said.
Yeah, I guess the Republicans are trying to follow suit and trying to get one up or try to balance the scale. I don't know what they're trying to do, but you know what? Hispanics need to go vote. Need to go vote for whoever they want. And Senator Reid had no right to say that because there's a lot of Republican Hispanics that there's a lot of Hispanics that are conservatives.
Yes.
You know, so I don't know. We should just get rid of this race crap.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we got 15% unemployment now. Went up again.
I know.
And this is what we're concerning ourselves with?
Yeah, you believe that?
Yeah.
That's just terrible. I say we need to get rid of all those Congress and Senate and start fresh.
Yeah.
Whether they're R, D, I, IAP, L, G, or whatever, black, white, green, blue, just get rid of all of them and have a new vision in there.
Yeah.
You know? That include all senators too. I don't care if they're R or D.
Yep, I'm right.
Move them all out. Move them all out because I don't think the founding fathers set up this U.S. Senate and U.S. Congress for you to have for you to be a lifetime politician.
No, you weren't never supposed to be a lifetime politician.
Yeah. Anyways, any more rants?
Nope, that's it.
Well, we were talking a lot. I got everything. I give some. Anyways, let's go to Annie Yvette Wilson, who's a candidate for school board of education for District 12. Annie, ma'am, how are you over there?
I'm doing fine.
Oh, District 2. Sorry. you know, Annie, I just turned 43 the other day, and my vision is catching up on me. That's probably what it is. So, Annie, how are you, ma'am?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me today.
No problem. Could you give us a bio about yourself and why you're running for this seat?
Sure. Again, my name is Annie Yvette Wilson. I was born, raised, and educated here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Went to McCallie Elementary School, from there High Park, from there Clark High School. I received my master's from UNLV in social work. I am a licensed social worker. Also, I should graduate next year with my PhD in education. The focus is organizational leadership. Right now, I currently work for Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. However, I am not a police officer. I am a social worker. My job there is to train officers on homeless issues surrounding homelessness, crisis intervention, and other job duties. I've worked in Clark County School District for a while. It's a substitute teacher. I've been in classroom firsthand, and I know what it's like, working with the children, talking with the children. And many people don't know, we have over 5,000 homeless school children in Clark County today. Over 5,000. That's a large number. You asked me why was I running for State Board of Education for District 2. I'm running because I have a passion for children. I've been working with children all my life, in the classroom, outside of the classroom. I'm a mentor for a lot of the youth today. And being a mentor is very, very important. If it wasn't for a mentor, I wouldn't be where I am today. I would not be here.
Well, Annie, that's a pretty big bio. Looks like you got a lot of good qualifications here.
Thank you.
Oh, and by the way, I graduated from CART, too. So we got a couple CART chargers.
Annie, education is one of our main priority as far as the veterans in politics is concerned, because we feel that a lot of these candidates that are running for school board and board of trustee and what's the other one? Regent, that they don't have enough media exposure, and a lot of the voters don't know who the heck they are. Matter of fact, I think they're the last on the list on the ballot. Is that correct?
You're correct.
Yeah, they're the last on the list, and a lot of people don't pay attention to those races. But I had Linda Young. She was my keynote speaker at a meet and greet we did with joint venture with Shine Foundation at the Fifth Street School a few weeks ago, and she told us that between junior high, between freshman and senior year in the past 5 years, we had over 6,000 dropouts, and she also said that 42% of the population that goes to Clark County School District is Hispanics. Mm-hmm. And the other percentage, I forget what the exact number was, but the other percentage that was up there was African Americans. And then right below that was Caucasians, and right below that was Asians, and right below that was Native American. I think Native American fell at the 0.01%, something like that. It was very low. It seems like the Hispanic population is the vast majority that goes to Clark County School District. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do, but I think we need to work with all the children, not only one culture, Hispanics, African Americans, no matter what culture it is. No, it doesn't matter. Education is education.
The reason why I brought that up, do you feel that a lot of the, and I'm not trying to go black or white or Hispanic talk, but do you feel that a lot of the Caucasian parents are moving their children into private schools?
Some parents are moving children to private schools, not all the Caucasians, because you do have schools like Southwest Career and Technical Academy. Mm-hmm. You have schools like Northwest Career and Technical Academy. Those are pretty good schools. You have a lot of good schools. They're not private schools. Students can go to those different schools, but you need to have a certain GPA and a certain grade point average. And that's why I say it's important for the teachers to really care about the students in the classroom. Because I was born and raised and went to the Clark County School District, there's a change in the teaching, the quality of teachers that we have today.
What qualifications do you think you need to run for school board?
School board or state board?
The state board, the one you're running for.
Okay,
State Board of Education. Okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What qualifications do you think you need?
I think for the State Board of Education qualifications, a person needs to have worked in a classroom before. If you don't work in a classroom, you don't really understand. It's okay to say my brother worked in a classroom, my sister worked in a classroom. It is not the same. You need to get the first-hand experience. You need to be able to work with the parents. You need to be able to work with the community. You need to bring everything together. Also, another quality is that you need to know how to write curriculums. You know, a lot of people...
What about academic-wise? High school diploma, master's degree, or...
You need that, because how could you tell a child, hey, you need to graduate from high school when you're a high school dropout? How could you do that? How could you tell a child you need to graduate from high school and continue on with college if you don't have any college? How could you do that?
What would you say if I told you that there is a school board trustee that does not have a high school diploma, currently serving right now? What would you say to that?
I don't believe that person should be on the board.
Okay.
You know, this is Annie's own personal feeling. Right. That person should not be on the board. Okay. You cannot tell a child that they should graduate from high school or tell a child they should continue on with college if you don't have that, because they look up to us as their mentors to give them guidance. I have students right now in my church, middle school, can't spell the simple words. I mean, the third grade level words like since, S-I-N-C-E. I mean, this person's going to ninth grade. And someone went to 8th grade. What happened? What happened?
Well, Annie, you've pointed out some key things that are wrong, but you also pointed out there's 5,000 homeless kids.
Yeah, over 5,000.
What specifically do you think you could do when you get on the state board to be able to solve that problem, or at least make a dent in it?
To work with those children, work with those families. That's what I'm currently doing right now. You have them a shade tree, you have them a family promise, you have them a rescue mission. The ones that's in the street, because if you're a child and your family's homeless, you go to school, you're not thinking about education. You're thinking about, where am I going to live when I get out of school? What am I going to eat? What am I going to wear? Because kids are cruel when you go to school. You know, they can be cruel.
If you don't wear the
name brand clothes.
Exactly.
So, we have a lot of underlying issues that need to work on, and that's what I want to do, is bring all these resources together. We have a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, would you be willing to? Remember Joe Bonaventure?
Yes, sir.
He was practicing law for 2 years, and he ran on his father's name, and now he's Justice of the Peace. And as soon as that matter happened, he became Justice of the Peace. They changed the law and said you need to be a practicing attorney for 5 years before you can run for Justice of the Peace. Well, a couple of weeks ago, or was it last week, we had Kevin Donovan on this show. And he's running for Assembly 22 as a Democrat. And he made a statement, and he said Deanna Wright, who is the Clark County school trustee, who ran for school trustee and became school trustee and beat out a PhD person. One person has a PhD. She's the one that does not have a high school diploma, and yet she's a school board trustee. Would you be willing to pass legislation that would say that in order to run for a school board trustee, this is one of the requirements you have to have, or in order to run for any educational seat, whether it be school board, board of ed, or regent, you have to have a high school diploma?
Yes, I would, definitely.
Okay.
Because you really need that. And again, like I said, I have children myself. I talk to my children. First thing they say, well, Mom, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. So you need to be a role model. Children are not going to listen to you. That's the first thing they do is throw in your face. Well, why didn't you do it? I understand she may have the experience, some experience, but education is first and foremost.
Right. So what are you willing to do to get parents involved in their children? Because apparently that's one of the big things that I don't necessarily blame teachers for not teaching kids. I blame the parents first, because I think education starts at the home first. And I think a lot of parents drop the kids off to school, or they just go to school and it's like, get them out of the house type of deal. And that's their mentality. How do you think that you could turn it around and get parental involvement with these kids?
What I would do, because a lot of parents, you're right, they drop the kids off at school like a babysitter. That's what they're doing. We have to get the parents involved. What I would do is do outreach to the parents. For instance, my job, if they don't come to me, I go to them. You have to do outreach. And it wouldn't cost the state any money. I came up with a plan. Social workers, for instance, and other departments at UNLV, they all have interns. Interns are required to do 20 hours a week. These are educated folks. Why not use the interns to go to the parents? Do outreach, go to the homes, work with the parents, let them know what the children are doing, and and to help any way they can. Tutoring. A lot of children need tutoring. Let them do the outreach. It's free. It's a grade for them. They'll be happy to do it.
I forgot the state that's trying to pass legislation, or I think it was a local city that was trying to pass legislation or ordinance. If the parent did not attend open school night, it would have been a misdemeanor. They'll get cited for that trying to force parents to be involved with their children's education. Would you think that would be something that you would look at here to force parents to be involved with their kids, to pass some type of legislation that if the parent does not go to school night or those type of functions to promote their kids' education, it would be listed as a misdemeanor?
No, I wouldn't do that, and let me tell you why. A lot of parents that I see today, they're on drugs. You don't want a parent come to school under the influence of drugs or anything. A lot of parents are on drugs. You'll be surprised the number of parents that's on drugs. They drop the kids off, and a lot of them do drugs. A lot of the parents do drugs, are under an influence.
But wouldn't that help clean them up if they were on drugs and they show up?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's not the way it works.
Wouldn't that expose them? Or
it would expose the parents. Let me.
But if you don't try to fix a problem, it'll never be fixed.
But it needs to be fixed, and I agree 100%.
How would you do that?
To get the parents involved, like I said, I would do outreach to the parents. Because the parents are not going to come to school, I would do outreach. I talked to one of the instructors at Southwest Career and Technical Academy. Let me tell you what happened. What he told me is that he taught at one of the schools in East Las Vegas. He said open night, 17 parents came the whole night. This school here, the school he's at now, Southwest Technical Academy, 117 parents came one night, open house. So that's the difference. So I agree 100%. The parents need to be involved. If the parents involved, it makes a big difference in the child's life. The child see the parents care. The child see the parents want them to be educated. The child see that the parents want them to move forward in education. Education is continuous and ongoing, no matter what topic it is.
So you don't believe in that zoning law? If you live in this particular zone, you have to go to that particular school?
No, I do not, because what it is, I was a substitute teacher. Not all substitute teachers are good. And I'm not saying, I think I was one of the best. What happened to me at the school that I was teaching at, doing a substitute teaching job, they would call me to teach chemistry, math, and I would tell the principal, is not that is not the subject that I'm an expert in. So I shouldn't be there. The children would come to me and ask questions. I couldn't answer the questions because I had no idea. Then in other classes, you just need to be creative. English class. I was in an English class one day and talked to the principal. The principal told me, well, just go by the curriculum. There was no curriculum. So sometimes you just have to be creative. So I had the class said, hey, everyone pull out the newspaper. Let's read this article, write about the article, and tell me what you think about the article. So sometimes you just have to be creative. But it has to be a class that you can teach.
Right. Yeah. My aunt was a teacher out here for a while, and she ran into that problem. She was actually doing a social studies class, and I was telling her what to tell the kids at night because she didn't know. She was teaching them about Vietnam, and she didn't even know what the Tet Offensive was. So I had to stay up all night explaining to her exactly what it was. So I was, in a sense, teaching her class for her. That she had no. This wasn't in Clark County though. This was in Nye County.
Well, I just think if we're going to use substitute teachers, just to make sure that they're an expert in that subject area that they're going to be teaching, so they will be able to help the children. A lot of times when children have a substitute, they say it's a free day, and we do have long-term substitute teachers.
Yes. What do you think we could do to recruit more substitute teachers? Because I have an ex-girlfriend of mine. She went into substitute teaching, and she made it about 6 months before she quit. Because she just had, you just go into the classroom, the kids are just out of control. She couldn't figure out how to control them, so she just quit. And I've heard that from a lot of people, that's one of the reasons why they won't go into substitute teaching. What do you think when you get elected that you can do to recruit more substitute teachers?
Well, to recruit more substitute teachers, I would look at UNLV. The UNLV, the teaching program, and some of University of Phoenix, some of the other programs they have. And also review the curriculum they have for these teachers. Interview the teachers, make sure that we have the teachers in the right area. It's okay to have substitute teachers, but just to make sure that they're in their area of expertise. You don't want them anywhere. Okay. You know, you're not benefiting the student. With students, because I was a substitute teacher, when you first go in the classroom, you need to be firm. You have to be firm with them. If you don't, they will run over you. It's either you lead or they lead.
Right.
And good leadership, if you have good leadership skills, you lead.
Okay.
So could you tell me why valet attendants and people that work for Republic Service and pick up trash makes more money than our educators?
See, and that's a shame. That is really bad.
Except for the superintendent
yes.
Of schools
yes.
with his, what,
he's over
370 something or $1,000 a year package, and he hasn't even proved himself yet.
That's true. That's true.
I would have had him. I would have paid him probably half of that, and said, "Okay, I want to see how you do in a year, and then we'll think about renegotiating that contract."
Yes, have some outcomes.
Right.
Yeah, see what kind of outcomes you have. All right. School teachers, I agree, they don't make a lot of money, and we all know that.
And isn't that sad, though?
It is. You get what you pay for.
Right.
And I can tell you that right now. You get exactly what you pay for. If you want good quality school teachers, we need to pay for good quality school teachers. We really do.
Where are we going to get the money for it, though? With our budget crunch. Huh?
Okay,
Bob Beers.
Okay. You need to be creative. Okay, some of the research that I've been doing, like, for instance, the schools, during the summer months, why not advertise on the schools, something about education on the schools, school buses? Why not advertise on the school buses and charge some of the businesses? This is a way to generate money. I mean, that'll bring in a lot of money because a lot of people do advertising. I mean,
I like that idea because I saw at least 24 school buses that was lined up on by Orr Middle School when the president came in, and they're just big and yellow.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Advertise and charge your businesses to advertise something about education, why education is important, about the increasing high school graduation rate. You know, advertise. That would generate a lot of money. I'm sure a lot of businesses would get involved.
And how would you go about that, Annie?
Reaching out to the businesses.
How would you go about passing some type? I guess you would have to pass something within the school board or something to even get that program started before you could reach out to the business and get advertisement. How would you do that?
You're right. First of all, you would have to meet with the school board, the board of regents, the powers that be. You would have to meet with everyone. That's one of the things we don't do in Nevada. We don't bring all the parties together to work together.
Are you willing to do something
yes,
like that?
Yes, I am.
Absolutely. Have you looked into it?
Yes, I have. I looked into other states, what other states are doing.
Have you reached out to any of these school board trustee or board of regents or anybody on the state board of education right now to say, hey, this is an idea I have in mind, and if I was to be elected, I would like to move this idea forward?
Yes, I have. I've talked to 2 people on the State Board of Education, and we talked about the plan. But right now, they're working on their mission statement and some other things. When I get on the board, that's one of the things that I'm going to be pushing forward, because that's a way to generate money.
Right.
With that money, they can buy books. They can do a lot of things with the money.
That sounds like a really, really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, everything else for Annie?
No. Other than good luck with your race.
Thank you.
Annie, thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate it, and good luck with you, ma'am. That's give us your point of contact before we set you off.
Okay, my point of contact, I give both my cell number and email address. My email address is Yvette, YVETTE 38 at AOL.com. My cell number, this is my personal cell number. If you have any questions, please call me. Feel free. Area code 702-985-1959. That's Annie Yvette Wilson, State Board of Education, District 2 candidate. Thank you.
Well, that's Annie Yvette Wilson, candidate for member of the State Board of Education, District Number 2, and we thank her for coming. This is Steve Sanson and Jim Jonas with Veterans in Politics, and we'll be back momentarily with Travis Barrick, Republican candidate for Nevada State Attorney General.
Infomercial is brought to you by the Veterans in Politics International. The Veterans in Politics mission is to teach, educate, organize, and awaken our veterans and their families to select, support, and vote intelligently for a better world, and to protect ourselves from our own government and a culture of corruption, and to be the political voice for those and other groups that do not have one. Remember, 1 in 6 Nevadans are vet.
There are too many homeless vets, and more programs are needed at the VA. Every veteran service organization post should adopt a local homeless veteran.
Funding of VA medical centers is inadequate, and building a VA hospital in Southern Nevada is moving at a slow pace. The budget has been flatlined for too many years. The VA is too quick to deny claims and too slow to help veterans gather records in support of claims.
Local politicians ignore veterans and their issues. They perceive a lack of organization among their local veterans and that it won't hurt them at election time. Veterans too often vote party, not veterans issues. All veterans should vote in every election.
Local news media give inadequate coverage to local veteran issues and events. You must send your letters to the editor and voice your concerns.
Please contact your members of Congress and Senate and urge them to co-sponsor key legislation in supporting our veterans. Please support the Veterans in Politics. To get more information, go online to www.veteransinpolitics.com.
Support your local veteran groups.
What are you doing online? Checking out the belly dance contest. Where's it at? Factorbelly.com. That's right. We work our arms. We work our ass. We work so hard and had a blast. No matter what your favorite size. Some belly dance. Don't be surprised. For class schedule and location, log on to factorbelly.com.
Hi, my name is Ken Walther, and I'm the conservative veteran small business owner, candidate for Assembly District 18. I ask you to visit my web, kenfornevada.com. That's Ken, number 4, Nevada.com, to see what my issues and plans are. We need smaller government, not bigger, and we all need to pull together. This is Ken Walther, kenfornevada.com. Join me in taking Assembly District 18 back for the people. I approve this message. Thank you.
Paid for by the Friends of Ken Walther.
Well, we're back. This is Steve Sampson and Jim Jonas with Veterans in Politics. And we have live in studio Travis Barrick, Republican candidate for Nevada State Attorney General. Travis, how you doing today,
Hey, wait a minute. That was Peter Gunn.
Yeah.
That music.
Yep.
Peter Gunn is our guy. He brings us in. Yeah. Peter Gunn. Travis, you're on bio.
Hi, Steve. Well, I'm a native of Las Vegas. I grew up on East Bonanza Road, graduated from Rancho High School, met a girl, moved to California, worked as a carpenter and contractor for 20 years, went to law school when I was 45 in San Francisco, moved back to Las Vegas in 2007, been in private practice since 2002, 2003, and I'm a regular guy. I ride a motorcycle. As I was quoted on by the AP at a debate, I like beer, pool, cigarettes, guns, and motorcycles. And I'm used to being taken for granted.
Okay. Interesting bio, Travis. So why are we running for Attorney General?
Nevada deserves better than the incumbent, who's a political hack.
Why do you say that?
How big a crayon do you need to connect Ms. Masto to Mr. Reed?
How big? How big a crayon do we need? Travis, tell us about your campaign.
Well, the latest buzz is that Ms. Masto just got my name spread all over the state by running a negative, misleading ad about me. It was wonderful. I think I owe her a receipt.
Yeah, she mentioned about you got arrested.
Yeah,
and I heard your side of it, and I was hearing her side, but I agree with you.
Oh, thanks. Cool.
I agree with you because you were protesting late term abortion, correct?
Right. It's about the rule of law.
Yeah. I mean, I got arrested for lesser things than that. So something like that, I agree with you 100%.
Well, thank you, Steve.
You know, I don't know why she's making a big deal about it. I think she's making a big deal about it is because
it's close.
That's the only thing she has on you right now.
I'm a Boy Scout, man. I mean,
is that arrest? Is that And I was listening to the interview that you had with her and was Joel Hansen
on Ralston,
and you guys were saying that how she what was that how she went after Brian Krolicki, and she said it wasn't political, but yet she didn't file that lawsuit that the governor wanted, which you guys were right. It is a misdemeanor if she doesn't follow the governor's instructions to file a lawsuit. But she's also a private elected person, and I get that as well. But if your client, she was talking about the client thing. She goes, well, it wasn't the best interest for my client. But if her client tells you to do something, which the governor is, the state of Nevada is a client, and he says file a lawsuit, I think it was over the Obamacare, correct?
Correct. And remember on the show I said this is not the normal attorney-client relationship.
Right. So I don't know how she could go ahead and file a lawsuit against Brian Krolicki and not file a lawsuit when the governor instructed her to file a lawsuit for the Obamacare. Whether she agrees with it or not, he or the state of Nevada is still her client, and she should file a suit. Because I've had many lawyers that tell me, I don't think you should do this. I'm like, that's fine. That's good. I don't care what you think I should do it. I know that you're supposed to be my mouthpiece. And I want to do that and make it happen. That's why I'm
or
paying
find
you.
another lawyer.
That's why.
So let's find another attorney general.
That's why I'm paying you.
So Travis, how have you been able to get it so close?
It's not always about the money. Sometimes it's literally about the candidate.
Right.
And I'm a decent fellow. I gave up trying to be perfect a long time ago, but I'm just a decent fellow. I have a really, really excellent education that most of which I got in, working days and going to school at night. So, it's easy for me to connect with people because I'm a humble guy. I'm a nice guy. And again, I'm not perfect, and I don't think I have to be because I don't expect other people to be perfect either. So I think there's a resonance between me and the regular folks out there.
Okay. But what is your opinion, Travis, of what Steve and I were talking about in the beginning of the show? Let's just throw them all out and start over.
Well, I think it would take 18 senators to create a centrist party that would make the fringe of the right and the fringe of the left completely irrelevant. So if we had 18 senators with vision, I think there could be one of those fundamental paradigm shifts like we had prior to the Civil War.
Kind of like what, wasn't it Senator McCain and, 7 other senators that came together?
Yeah, on the big deal.
Yeah.
So, Travis, tell me about your campaign. How's it looking? You got a campaign manager?
No.
Or
You're looking at him.
Or you? Well, how? Travis, seriously, how do you run a state race, being an unknown?
Yep.
Without
any money,
a campaign manager, and without any money, or do you have anybody that is soliciting funds for you, that are making those calls? Are you making those calls? Are you trying to get the money in? How do you do that? Because I just can't understand that. Because when I ran for public administrator in the primaries, and that was a county race, I raised what? I don't know. I forget how many thousands of dollars came to $10,000. I think it was $10,000 within the 2-month period. And I had a campaign manager, and I did fundraising, and I picked up that phone, and God knows how many people I called. I think I called. I know I called you too. I think I called.
And I gave you money too.
Yeah. I called a lot of folks myself. So how do you do in a state race, and how much money have you raised?
You never ask a rancher how many cattle he have, or a farmer how many acres he has. Come on, Steve.
Well, I'm a city boy. No, I ask my friends how many guns you have and how much ammunition you have for your weapons, and but
let's get back to the question.
And how many clubs did you hit in the past 2 months? That's what I ask.
Well, let's back up a little bit. Insanity, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So in the very beginning, I was on the phones, calling, and I figured out pretty quick that the doors of money heaven were shut to me. And there are certainly, the Democrats don't want me to win, and there are Republicans that don't want me to win.
Do you know Democrats gave to my campaign?
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. You're a good guy, Steve. But yeah, it's like, okay, I figured it out. Money was not going to be the way I win this race, and fortunately for me, they don't count money in the ballot box. They count votes. So the way I run in my race is being out there, and they don't call it running for nothing.
But you need money for those TV ads and
TV ads. Those are impossible for me. You couldn't buy a TV ad now with $1 million. It's all been bought up months ago.
Or rebuttal on mailers or
well, I'm doing
auto
radio.
dialers.
Yeah, I'd do all that if I had money coming in, but I don't. And so, I'm running here. My philosophy of this whole exercise is to take the next step that appears in front of me. And so that's how I've just been running this race. When somebody calls, I call them back. When somebody emails, I email them back. I get to go to events. I get to be on your show. Thank you very much. So that's how I'm running it, just by living in the moment and pursuing whatever opportunities come my way.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: What cities or what counties in Nevada have you actually went to?
All of them.
All of them,
except maybe Landers. But no, I've been all over the state.
And what's your message, Travis?
Return integrity to the office of Attorney General. Nope, I don't owe anybody any favors. That's one of the upsides in people not giving me money. I don't owe anybody any favors. And if you want an unbiased, fair Attorney General that really has the people's interest at stake, not just defending the organs of state government, but you want somebody that cares about the folks in the state, then I'm your guy.
I saw one of your campaign pieces, and you're on a motorcycle with the helmet, leather jacket on. Do you think that photo might intimidate some folks not to vote for you?
Well, there's a cost-benefit analysis that was done on that photo, and the reality is there's a huge constituency of people that ride motorcycles. But the reality is, Steve, it's not about marketing. That's who I really am.
Right. Okay.
So I'm just trying to be authentic. I never would want to hide the fact that I'm a motorcycle rider, partly because it speaks to my whole worldview and philosophy of the love of freedom. The love of to be able to enjoy the open road, either alone or with a group of other people. And there's something psychologically binding with people that ride together. So, there's huge constituent. How many motorcyclists are there in this state?
Oh, there's a few.
There's a few.
All right.
So I'm just trying to be authentic. This is who I am. Like I said, I'm not trying to hide anything or package the deal and put the slick on it.
Well, Travis, we're going to take one commercial break. and then we're going to be right back with you.
There's something else I want to talk that's unrelated.
We're going to come back to that, Travis. This is Steve Sampson, Jim Jones for Travis Barrick, Republican candidate for Nevada State Attorney General.
Hello, my name is Steve Sampson. I'm the president of Veterans in Politics International. This country and state are in trouble with budget cuts, unemployment, foreclosures, teacher shortage, dropout rates, terrorism, and a loss of military service members. The outcome of this election will profoundly affect families, both military and non-military. Military men and women are dying for other countries to have the right to vote. As a former member of the United States Marine Corps and the Army, I know how important it is to keep the voters informed. Log on to the website veteransinpolitics.com. All Americans of voting age need to not only vote, but research your choices. The Veterans in Politics organization has taken a proactive approach to supporting candidates who will have the courage to protect all of our freedoms and our Constitution. Visit our website at veteransinpolitics.com. Don't just talk about who you support. Research your choices and vote.
This is Chuck Ann Baker, the editor of the Veterans Reporter newspaper, the only newspaper in Nevada for veterans and their families. Pick up your free copies at most VA offices, most libraries, at the American Legion, the VFW, the DAV, and hundreds of other locations. We also produce the Veterans Reporter radio show every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m., KLAV Radio, AM 1230, and we stream it live, www.klav1230am.com. This is Chuck Ann Baker for the Veterans Reporter newspaper.
What are you doing online? Checking out the belly dance contest. Where's it at? InspectYourBelly.com. That's right. We work our arms. We work our abs. We work so hard and had a bath. No matter what your favorite size from belly dance, you'll be surprised. For class schedule and location, log on to InspectYourBelly.com.
This infomercial is brought to you by the Veterans in Politics International. The Veterans in Politics mission is to teach, educate, organize, and awaken our veterans and their families to select, support, and vote intelligently for a better world and to protect ourselves from our own government in a culture of corruption and to be the political voice for those and other groups that do not have one. Remember, 1 in 6 Nevadans are vets.
There are too many homeless vets, and more programs are needed at the VA. Every veteran service organization should adopt a local homeless veteran.
Funding of VA medical centers is inadequate, and building a VA hospital in Southern Nevada is moving at a slow pace. The budget has been flatlined for too many years. The VA is too quick to deny claims and too slow to help veterans gather records in support of claims.
Local politicians ignore veterans and their issues. They perceive a lack of organization among their local veterans and that it won't hurt them at election time. Veterans too often vote party, not veterans issues. All veterans should vote in every election.
Local news media give inadequate coverage to local veteran issues and events. You must send your letters to the editor and voice your concerns.
Please contact your members of Congress and Senate and urge them to co-sponsor key legislation in supporting our veterans. Please support the Veterans in Politics. To get more information, go online to www.veteransinpolitics.com. Support your local veteran group.
Well, we are back. Steve Sampson and Jim Jonas with Veterans in Politics.
Hey, I want to bring up a veterans thing.
I'm not done. We're live in studio with Travis Barrick, Republican candidate for Nevada State Attorney General. Travis, go ahead.
Well, you notice how I took the shot that you just gave me. You know what I mean? You were right and I was wrong. I accept. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about veterans practice here in Vegas.
Oh, what are you talking about? I was right. You were wrong. I mean, I was wrong.
You said
right.
I'm not done, so I shut up.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. Go ahead.
Thank you, Steve. One of the things I've been doing lately is trying to recruit attorneys in town to start practicing veterans law, because right now there's almost nobody in town that will take cases. And also, what happens is veterans that are involved, have legal problems, I'm being contacted by them on a regular basis, and I really want to give a shout out to David River, because he stepped up to the plate and helped a veteran who had a landlord-tenant problem. And
pro bono.
Oh yeah. Oh. I'm just so thankful that David stepped up to the plate, and it just so happens that he is right now going through a very, very terrible personal loss. So, if you put him in your prayers, just, light a candle for David. Because,
what's going on with him?
Well, I'm not going to get the details, but, somebody close is really sick.
Oh, okay.
And so, I just want to make sure that he gets the kudos he deserves.
We appreciate that. So, Travis, what are you going to do differently than what the incumbent is not doing?
I'm going to run it like a real law office. I've worked in a law firm of 110 lawyers, so I kind of have an idea about how, management. I also have a master's degree in public administration with a focus on organizational behavior and managerial economics. We're going to run a more transparent office where the client, the people of the state of Nevada, can know where all the money's going. Right now, in 2007, Assemblyman Harvey Mumford asked the incumbent for an accounting of the amount of money spent on litigation with inmate claims. And that was never brought out. There's never been an answer. There's never been an accounting of all the money spent litigating claims. There was one example, if I have time. There was a inmate in Lovelock, I believe, who bought $23 worth of seeds for a garden because the prison had authorized gardens. I think that's a great idea. You're in lockdown. It's not supposed to be a hellhole. Prison is about not having your liberty, and that's about it. So anyway, the prison said, hey, yeah, we're going to let the guys have a garden. And then he bought all these seeds, and then they changed their mind and said, okay, no gardens. And he said, that's fine. Give me my $23 back. And the AG's office spent an estimated $25,000 fighting with this inmate over $23 worth of vegetable seeds.
Hey,
can't you just say I'm sorry?
What about the one that they give the lieutenant governor advice, and then they sue him on the same advice that they gave him?
Correct.
Isn't that like the same philosophy?
Well, it seems like litigation in that office is a blood sport as opposed to resolving problems. And so I have a different mindset. I've been in litigation my entire legal career, beginning when I first started law school, because I worked in litigation firms. And litigation can be about a sport, about sparring, about
right.
beating the other guy. Yeah. But in reality, it's about solving problems. It's coming to resolutions. And so that'd be the different flavor. The other thing is I'm engaged. I'm a sunshiny guy. I'm fun. I'm nice. And
you're approachable.
Yeah, I certainly am. And I'm interested. And I also have, been educated over the last 4 or 5 months with some of the incredible problems facing the state and how the AG's office is implicated or involved in a lot of those problems. And I want to see them resolved.
Okay. Well, Travis, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
And
Jim?
Could you...
Good luck, Travis.
I'm man and you're Jim.
Okay.
That's what he just said.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, I thought I was Steve. I'm messing with Travis now. Anyway, Travis, could you give us your point of contact?
My website is travisbarrick.com. My email is travis@travisbarrick.com. My phone number's on the website. You can also see my rebuttal video to the negative ad on YouTube, and you can listen for my radio spots around the state.
So, Travis, if and when you become Attorney General, you think you're going to hire me and Jim? We'll move up to Carson City.
I would love to hire you, especially because I want you to do what sounds like fun.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, I'm going to ask you.
Oh, okay.
What do you want to do?
Oh, we'll even stay at the Grand Story building right here. That way we don't have to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is Steve Sanson and Jim Jonas with Veterans in Politics, and we just want to let everybody know that we're now streaming live over your smartphone. So tune in and listen to us. iPhone, BB, and Droids, whatever that one is. So until next week.